Hi everyone, it's Michelle. I just wanted to share with you today my Bible journaling entry in Philippians chapter 3. And what I'm using today is I'm doing some embossing, and I will also be finishing up with some gelatos. So as you can see there, I've already got the letters on my acrylic block, and I use these letters quite often. They're from Lawn Fawn, and if anybody's interested in those letters, I can definitely point you in the right direction. So I'm just using some clear ink to stamp those on. And the embossing powder that I'm using there is from Tim Holtz, and it's a distress embossing powder. And as I get rid of the excess powder there, I realize that I made a typo in my words, and instead of using an F, I used the letter E, and you can see on the first letter there, for the word forget, I used an E by accident. So I am so happy that that's an easy fix, and I just took a sponge and just wiped off the bottom part of the E, which was really handy. So I just fixed that there, and then I used my heat tool to go in, and I realize as I'm heating it that I'm using distress powder, and I'm sitting there waiting for the sheen to come when you emboss something, and I didn't really clue in very quickly that it's supposed to have a distressed look, and it's not supposed to necessarily be a shiny finish. So it takes me a while to get that point, but that's okay. I'll use this time to share the verse with you that I chose. It's a couple verses from Philippians 3, verse 12 to 14. I don't mean to say that I have already achieved these things, or that I've already reached perfection, but I press on to possess that perfection for which Jesus Christ first possessed me. No, dear brothers and sisters, I have not achieved it, but I focus on this one thing. Forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead, I press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize for which God, through Christ Jesus, is calling us. So I love that verse. It just reminds us that we can forget the past and press on to what God has ahead of us, and it just gives us a hope for the future and keeps us from getting stuck, I guess, in the past. So I am just using some other letters there. These ones are from Tim Holtz collection, and I'm going to be spelling out the word press on, or the words press on, sorry. And I'm just using a different embossing powder. I'm using like a teal color this time, and this embossing powder is just a regular one. It's not a distress one, and it's from Recollections, which is from Michael's. And I'm just kind of testing out to see where I want to put the word on, and I kind of decide right there is going to do it. And I'm just going to put the embossing powder on there before I apply the heat tool onto both words. So this time you get a much more sheen look, and this embossing powder actually gave a very metallic look, which I was really happy with. I really liked the way it turned out. So as soon as that is finished, I'm going to take a gelato now, like a lime yellowy green, and I'm going to apply it to the whole page. And the only thing I want to point out here is once you get the color applied to the whole page, you just want to be really careful around the edges. It's very easy to rip your page or crumple your page as you're doing this. And normally I use a baby wipe for this this part. But that takes off a lot of the color, and I wanted this to be really vibrant, so that's why I'm using my finger, and it just kind of rubs in the color instead of taking some of it off. So there you can see what it looks like once it's all rubbed in. And what I'm going to do next is take a pink gelato, and I have a stencil with some triangles on it, and I'm just going to randomly pick a few places that I want to place some triangles. And I've mentioned this before, but what you really want to do here is make sure that you really make it random. When you're rubbing in the triangles or the gelatos into the triangle stencil here, you want to rub lightly in some places and harder in some places, and that way you're going to get different shades of the pink. And also, if you leave a couple places barely rubbed in, you're going to get an outline on the triangles, which you'll see in a couple seconds in one of the final pictures. And I really like that look. And now I just wanted to add some teal to the picture, and so I got some green and some blue to make the teal color. And I started by applying it to the triangle stencil again, but as I blended it, I really didn't like the look, and so I wanted to just blend it completely into the page instead of using the triangle stencil, which you'll see in just a second here in the final pictures. So there you can see the teal that I spread into the page in a couple different places. So guys, that's the final look there. I hope you really enjoyed it today, and I hope this verse means a lot to you, the same as it does to me. And I hope that you can leave what's behind and press on as well. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye.